And I call on Alex Rowley to open the debate. Around 7 minutes, please.
Thank you. I would like to begin by thanking those MSPs who signed my motion, Local Government Finance and the State of Debt, in order that we can have this debate this evening. I also want to put on record my thanks to Unite Scotland for all the work they have done around this issue, and to the Unite membership who have campaigned up and down Scotland to raise awareness of the arguments around a debt amnesty for public services. There are a few Unite members in the gallery this evening, and they are very welcome. In bringing forward this motion tonight, I am aiming to raise further the awareness of the campaign for a debt amnesty on pre-devolution council debt. I'm also hoping that we can build a consensus in this Parliament here in Scotland on the issues that our Parliament can put the pressure on to the UK Treasury in Whitehall to agree a debt amnesty on pre-devolution council debts for Scottish local government. And I would hope to gain support of the Scottish Government for this campaign, and an agreement of the Scottish Government that they will make direct representations to the UK Treasury for all pre-devolution debt owed by councils. There are two broad reasons for making this claim on the UK Treasury. The first and the key one, as far as the case is made with the UK Treasury, must be fairness. Some £2.5 billion of Scottish Council debt owed to the UK Treasury's Public Works Loans Board dates back to pre-devolution. Interest rates on these pre-devolution debts are around 8%, but interest rates on post-devolution debts are around 4%, which is the standard rate for a 30-year Public Works Loans Board loan. This means Scottish residents are paying 50% more interest on pre-devolution debt to the UK Treasury than we are on post-devolution debt. It means that on average, Scottish local government is spending the equivalent of 44p in every pound of council tax collected from Scottish residents on servicing debt liabilities. Unite Scotland estimate 10p of this in every pound derives from outstanding pre-devolution liabilities. It means that in the 17 years since devolution, Scottish councils have sent back a minimum of £3.3 billion to the Treasury in interest payments on pre-devolution debt liabilities alone. So on the grounds of fairness, I suggest that we have a strong case for pursuing an amnesty, and I hope that this Parliament and the Government in Scotland will join the campaign and make the case to the UK Government for this to happen. So there is a strong case for the Treasury based on what is fair and what is right and just, and we need to make that case. But we also must consider the current financial pressures on Scottish councils and the growing demands being placed on local public services, as this makes the need for such an agreement on a debt amnesty even more important and crucial. A report today by the Accounts Commission makes very difficult reading and brings home the case for reform, but also the case for investment. The Chair of the Accounts Commission states, and I quote, "Councils are increasingly relying on the use of reserves to bridge projected funding gaps. Moreover," he states, "there is a dependence on incremental change to services, increasing charges and reducing employee numbers in order to make savings. These are neither sufficient or sustainable solutions for the scale of the challenge facing councils. We need to support councils to face up to these challenges, and this means stopping the cuts and investing in more preventative approaches, something the Christie Commission, supported by all parties in this Parliament, advocated." I think the Scottish Secretary of Unite, Pat Rafferty, best sums up the current position of local government in Scotland when he states, Without doubt, we are facing a perfect storm of austerity across Scottish local authorities, and left unchecked, thousands of crucial jobs and local services will be further decimated to the point of no return. He continues, "We believe these extraordinary circumstances call for special measures, and that's why we are pursuing an amnesty on the pre-devolution debts owed by our councils to the UK Treasury." He adds, "An amnesty is a matter of political will, and there is certainly a precedence, as witnessed by the UK Treasury write-off of a £900 million housing debt in Glasgow City Council. It can be done." And that is a key point in this debate, I would suggest. It can be done. It just requires the political will to make it happen, and that's why this debate is important. As Unite say, this is not the whole solution to the massive challenges facing local councils, but is part of a series of measures that need to be taken to address the financial pressures councils are under, so that we can sustain jobs and services under public ownership for future generations. Presiding Officer, I did write to the Chancellor and the Scottish Secretary raising this issue with both, and I got a reply from the Chief Secretary to the Treasury that basically said no, whilst Mr Mundell did not bother to reply. So we know their position. But councils across the UK have been renegotiating debt and interest rates and making massive savings with private lenders, so the idea that the UK Treasury cannot do this is fanciful. Let us firm up our position and our resolve to fight the case for debt amnesty on the grounds I have set out today. Thank you.